What's that?
Not long ago, on an evening that shan't soon be forgotten, there was a gathering of the world's most ingenious detectives, who, if you can believe it, were also the world's most cunning murderers. They had devised a unique competition where they earned points for solving crimes and points for committing them. Each detective had a stash of 2 murder weapons. Look at the prompt on your device to see the first one you'll draw. But take heed, as a murderer, you also have a calling card, a letter from your own name that you must include in your drawings. Do your best to hide the letter as part of the image, like so. If your calling card is too obvious, your fellow detectives may spot it and trace the weapon back to you. Draw 2 weapons and hide your calling card now. By the way, if you've played before, you can turn off tutorials in the settings menu. I promise not to take it personally.
Fundamental.
If you're still on your first weapon, it's about time to move on to your second. To assist in their plans, each detective had a secret accomplice disguised as a party guest. Use your device to give your guest a name. Any clever moniker will do, but don't leave any clues to your own identity.
Yes!
Perfect, and not a moment too soon.
Everyone, your attention please. Please welcome our honorees for the evening, the world's greatest detectives.
Poor thing. He's got no idea what you're up to.
I'm your host, Lord Tippet. Don't let the monocle fool you. I have perfect vision. Oh, you brought gifts. You can set them down anywhere.
Looks like one of your drawings is out in the open, just as well. These gifts represent every type of weapon you'll see this evening, and no detective draws the same weapon twice.
Oh, and let's have a warm welcome for your esteemed guests. Wonderful. Now, let's just... Good heavens! A blackout? I'm much too rich for this sort of inconvenience. At least with you all around, we can be sure there won't be any foul play.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. Time to attack. Choose a guest to murder on your device. Then guess which detective brought them to the ball. Use your knowledge of what your fellow detectives may have written, or simply take a stab in the dark. If you're the first to figure out who brought a guest, your murder is successful, but your weapon will be left behind as evidence. And get on with it before the lights come back.
That wasn't as bad as I expect. Gadzooks! 4 of our guests have been murdered.
I'm handing out points to all my successful murderers. And the longer you get away with it, the more you can earn.
Well, it's a good thing no murder can stump the world's greatest detectives. To the detective board. Aha! We've found the murder weapons. Let's start by focusing on just 2 of these dastardly implements. Thanks to science, we can tell how many awful attempts were made on each guest's life.
And if you brought one of these guests, each of those attempts earns you points.
This is strange. If I didn't know better, I'd say these weapons are the same as some of the gifts you all brought.
Imagine that.
Unfortunately, we really only have time to solve one of these cases.
That means the other murderer will get away, for now.
Examine the evidence and talk through your theories. Choose the case you have the best chance of solving.
This. Here. Come on.
On with
As
it.
the host of this party, I'm empowered to break ties. I can also marry people if anyone's interested. You there. Now I'm choosing you at random to use my lucky magnifying glass. Use your device to move it over the evidence for a closer look. Now, everyone hurry and vote for who murdered this guest.
Boo.
Perhaps.
Don't forget you can use the magnifying glass to highlight what you found for your fellow
Let's
detectives.
continue.
Come on.
You suspect one of your fellow detectives was the murderer? Fess up, detective. Are you innocent or guilty of this crime?
Not me.
Oh, whoopsie-doo. Still, if any of you did vote for the actual guilty party, I'll see to it you're rewarded with points at the end of the night.
And as for our escaped murderer, keep lying low and there'll be even more points in your future.
There's one pair of murders left to examine. I would love it if you got it right this time. What senseless violence.
Senseless, but not pointless.
All right, thinking caps on.
And if you're a murderer, deflect suspicion onto the other case. Your life depends on it, or at least your sterling reputation.
Aha. Very well.
Fascinating.
Interesting. Get on with it.
Yes, yes.
Your turn with the magnifying glass. Don't break it. It's technically my dad's. I wish I had any idea who the murderer is.
Well, we can eliminate one suspect. Their drawing for this weapon is right in front of us.
Come on.
Interesting. On with it.
Oh, come on.
A hung jury? We can't convict anyone without a majority vote. Get it together and vote next time. My party depends on it. As for the murders we didn't get to, I promise we'll get to it later. Now, whatever you are. Oh, bother.
Time to refill your quiver. Draw 2 more weapons using the prompts on your device. You'll be hiding the same letter, but it may look a bit different than before.
Eureka!
Yes? Excellent.
While you're at it, recruit a new accomplice by entering another name. Remember, an accomplice that no one tries to murder doesn't do you any good. Give them a name that stands out.
Fine.
Masterfully done.
Oh, I see we have some late arrivals to the festivities. Please join me in welcoming our new guests. Fashionably late, but at least they're alive. Blast!
Choose another guest and guess who brought them. If you're right, the dark deed will be done.
If you are still living, you are very lucky and also quite suspicious. Don't worry, the coats on the bed's a great horn spoon. More murders? Is it just me, or are all these murders spoiling the mood?